The captive told them that the Church of One God was founded before the apocalypse in order to save all living things. Now it consists of tens of thousands of believers. One of the branches must have arisen near the refuge. Liu Feng was shocked when he heard the number of tens of thousands, and he asked, "Which part next to them is small or large?" The hostage continued the story, saying that an ordinary sect is ruled by several bishops. 8 of them are the highest-ranking ones. They are named by numbers from 1 to 8. She was the 8th, and the 7th was killed by Liu Feng, she said. Liu Feng realized that all those zombies were created by the founders of their religion. The hostage said that all the eggs of zombie mutants were given to them by the founder. Xin Tong, unable to bear the long story, bent her over and began to whip her on the bottom with a leash so that she would quickly say who their founder was. After which she immediately said that although she had not seen him in person, it seemed to her that he was probably not human. Li Feng along with Li Xin were very upset by her answer and asked her what about the apostle she was talking about. Would she be able to recognize him? The hostage replied that, of course, he could, and that, most likely, he was already in the city, after which Liu Feng said that next time he would take her with him on a mission. After summing up the meeting, Liu Feng said that, at the moment, there was no need for them to conflict with these gangs. First, you need to train your security squad, and then deal with the gangs. Kelly agreed with him, saying that first, they needed to strengthen the strongholds around the shelter. After which he said that lately he had not had enough points and needed to prepare for a foray into the city center. Therefore, you need to complete 4 combat missions, the first at the oil storage facility, the second at the hypermarket, the third at the wastewater treatment plant, and the 4th at the port berth. Liu Feng said that everyone will lead a team. Li Xin was ordered to capture the hypermarket, Long Xuan, the purification station, Da Qiang was supposed to capture the pier, and Liu Feng took over the oil storage facilities. After assigning missions, Liu Feng realized that he did not have enough talented people on his team. Kelly said that there is one more unresolved issue, and she said that it was necessary to go to the research institute in the center of the city to find nanotechnology and reveal Zhen Tianxiong, however. In the city center, the number of zombies reaches millions on their own. They will not be able to get there, so you need to take advantage of this opportunity. Li Xin suggested breaking through, to which Kelly replied that not everyone in this office is as crazy as her. Having said that, Director Liu has already thought of a way. Suddenly, Grandpa Kane came out to them via video link and said that while he was waiting for a call from Kelly, he heard that the military wanted to explore the city center. Kelly said that although they do not know the Army's goals, they have already begun recruiting mutants and bounty hunters. Therefore, she advised the director to establish relations with the military while they were at the northern base. He saved the life of their commander Chu twice, helped them with their mission, and also gave them a supply of food. The director even exceeded the task and paved the way for the team. So now it will be quite easy to join the military. Liu Feng expected that Kelly understood his plan, which only meant that he was hiding poorly. At this moment, Long Xuan understood why Liu Feng became the leader who personally created the shelter. After all, he always prepares everything and prepares for everything in advance without leaving any traces. Grandpa Kane also understood why Liu Feng liked Miss Kelly. Liu Feng stood up from the table, turned around and said that tomorrow they would clear out the strongholds around the shelter, and the next time they went to the city center, he would contact the military, and declared the meeting over. It was noticeable on his face that he was very scared and excited, because his comrades were very smart, because he didn't even have time to say anything, and the strategy was already ready. 3 hours later, in his room on the big screen, he excitedly watched the 9th and final part of the film, a severe crisis involving one of the actresses he bought. Seeing in front of him canned food, a table with rice, rolls, and all sorts of snacks, he understood that this was not an apocalypse because he did not have such a luxurious life before the end of the world. When suddenly the system notified him that Xiu Kan and Hua Mei were asking permission to enter his room, he thought that they wanted to watch a movie with him and allowed them to enter. 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 little Playboy bunnies appear in Liu Feng's room. Sitting down on the sofa next to Liu Feng, they immediately began to please him. showing that they were ready to do anything for him. Liu Feng was confused because he didn't understand what was happening. Xiu Kan said that they understood his cough hints and came to him as he asked. Liu Feng immediately realized that they had understood everything wrong, but it was already too late. After which they both looked at him with their charming, sparkling eyes and asked him to become their patron, attacking him from both sides. How suddenly he found himself deep in the forest with a sword in his hand, seeing in front of him two evil spirits that were sucking out the souls of people. Without thinking for a long time, he rushed into battle, trying to cut these two beautiful but evil spirits with one of his treasure swords. But the spirits only laughed, saying that he couldn't hurt them with a regular attack because they were spirits and could share the damage. After which they attacked him with powerful combinations. And he realized that his affairs were bad because at this rate he could lose. They did not spare him, beating him again and again. He understood that they were very strong, but he still couldn't understand how he could cope with two spirits alone, when suddenly he saw the well of rebirth from which these dangerous spirits emerged. The spirits kept telling him that they had no effect on him, but Liu Feng at that moment realized that he did not need to attack the spirits, but stick his sword into their well of revival. Having taken possession of their weakness, he understood that now their lives were like candles in the wind. After all, as soon as he filled the well, the source of their strength would fade away. They asked him to stop and not move, but Liu Feng understood that their weaknesses were now under his control. He felt superior. The evil spirits realized how strong and merciless he could be, and literally within a minute they asked him to stop and not move anymore, because they couldn't stand it anymore. But Liu Feng knew that he could not stop, because if he did, he would lose. Therefore, I decided to use the rotating vortex technique and enter completely into the well. In the end, thanks to his signature move, he was still able to cope with the two spirits, showing them how strong he was. After this incredible and crazy fight with two charming beauties, he felt amazing and wasn't even the least bit tired. And all because he fulfilled his childhood dream. He knew for sure that tomorrow he would be able to move mountains. The next morning, Liu Feng and his team moved to the oil storage facility to clear it of zombies and capture useful resources. For this mission, Kelly wore a chic red shirt with a huge cutout on the chest, a mini skirt, and took a crossbow with her for her safety. She was a very hot thing. Before the sortie, Kelly reported that, according to satellite estimates, there should be several dozen zombies in this plant. After capture, they would receive at least 300 units of the resource. One day ago, in the evening at the shooting range of the underground city, Kelly practiced shooting with firearms without rest. Liu Feng was very curious. Why did she train so much and not even rest? Kelly replied that this world of the apocalypse is too dangerous. Angry people, terrifying zombies, hunger and mutations. Therefore, simply hiding at the base is not her option. After her words, Liu Feng realized that a strong woman is a strong woman. At any time, she will not humble herself and will never retreat. The next morning, Kelly asked Liu Feng to allow her to join the operation to clear out zombies at the oil depot. Liu Feng agreed, saying that their task was to clear the area of zombies, but to avoid an explosion, they could not use firearms. From satellites, they saw that there weren't that many zombies inside. Also, most likely, there are no zombies, mutants among them at all. So this task should be quite easy for them. All they had to do was lure the zombies. Of course, the main power engineer became the bait. He was running away from the zombies, chasing him so quickly that he did not notice the stone under his foot and tripped over it. Having fallen, he turned over on his back and saw that the zombies, from whom he was running away so quickly, were just about ready to attack him and tear him into small pieces. But luckily for him, Liu Feng was nearby and cut the head of the zombie attacking him in half, saying that he did a great job as a bait. Kelly also did not stand aside. Thanks to her crossbow, she pierced the head of several zombies at once. Her shooting lessons were not in vain. Suddenly she noticed that a zombie was approaching her from behind. She turned around and kicked him with all her might right in the groin, immobilizing him even without arrows. Having seen such a harsh reception together with the electrician, we felt this pain ourselves. Meanwhile, Kelly finished off the zombie with a precise shot to the head. Meanwhile, Kelly told herself that she had to become strong, because she was not just an ornament. Moreover, before the end of the world, she was able to build a business empire on her own. She was sure that even after the apocalypse, she would also cope and become strong and independent, creating an opposite copy of herself who was not afraid of anything and could easily use any weapon. Looking at Liu Feng and Kelly standing back to back, the electrician thought that they were very suitable for each other, as he believed that they were almost a zombie-slaying couple. Zombies were everywhere. No matter how much they killed them, they kept coming and coming. There was an intense struggle for survival. Standing on the front line shoulder to shoulder next to Liu Feng, Kelly couldn't understand how this gorgeous and strong man could carry such tension all this time, being on the brink of life and death. Kelly also understood that Liu Feng was a very strong man, so she promised herself that she would not lose either, and decided to use the explosive bolts that Liu Feng had made for her. It would seem that all the zombies had already been destroyed, when suddenly a new mutant zombie appeared on the horizon, which they had never met before. It was a mutated zombie with poisonous glands. Seeing him, Liu Feng immediately made an immediate decision to strike him with a strong blow with his sword, thanks to which he cut his belly, from which acid began to spray. Seeing that he could not destroy the mutant zombie with this, he decided to use a secret technique called the Devilish Desert Sword and strike again at the zombies. Thanks to this fiery technique, he cut the mutant zombie in half plus burned him. Seeing the power of his sword, Liu Feng immediately realized that it was not for nothing that the sword was a Class A weapon. Seeing how Liu Feng calmly dealt with everything, at that moment Kelly felt that no matter how hard she tried, she still could not keep up with him. 10 minutes later they were already at the gate, in the oil storage facility, and the electrician was trying to open the security system in order to open the gate and get inside. Literally 5 minutes later, the electrician still managed to open the gate. Seeing this, Liu Feng said that they had cleared the courtyard area, and now all that was left was to clear the building, and the task would be completed, so he would go first. But Kelly did not lag behind him one step. Liu Feng asked her how it felt to kill zombies, to which Kelly replied that it was more difficult than she thought. Well, Kelly asked him not to worry about her because gradually, but she will become stronger. Hearing this, Liu Feng was once again convinced that she was a very strong woman, the likes of which he had never met before, and he invited her to try together to improve her skills. Before they could enter the building, suddenly over the loudspeaker, a mysterious voice began to ask for help, saying that the three of them should quickly go to the main control room and save him. A mysterious voice repeatedly asked for help, saying there were zombies outside, and he is in the main control room, and asked with tears in his eyes to save him, calling Liu Feng's team heroes. Liu Feng asked the system to show him the floor plan of the building. The system showed him a floor plan of the building, telling him that it had only 5 floors, and there was a working service elevator on the first floor. But Liu Feng was not going to rush to rescue because there was something wrong with the voice. In addition, there was noise, but no zombies appeared on the floor. Something was definitely not right here. Having examined the premises near the elevator, Liu Feng noticed corpses whose brains had been eaten. It did not look much like ordinary zombies. He understood that it seemed that this was an unprecedented type of zombie, mutants. Suddenly the system warned Liu Feng and discovered the energy of zombie mutants. Upon learning this, he immediately warned his team to be careful, since there was probably a mutant here. Before they had time to enter the elevator, suddenly a voice was heard from the radio again, saying that they had finally arrived. After which, a mysterious voice warned them of danger on the 5th floor, saying that a couple of zombies would be waiting for them there. Then he said that Liu Feng was staring at Kelly's chest. Liu Feng immediately told him to stop lying immediately, but the mysterious voice said that he had definitely seen it, and it didn't seem to him even that Liu Feng was staring at her butt right now. A few minutes later they arrived on the 5th floor. Liu Feng took out his sword and told his companions to stay behind him. Kelly understood that it would be safe behind his back. She even wanted to hide. Thinking about the battle just now, she realized that she had been training for so long. But as soon as a couple of zombies appeared, she was on the edge. But it was a moment of weakness, because after collecting her thoughts, she said no, she will not give up, because in this world of the apocalypse only the strong can survive. After which she told Liu Feng that she would not hide behind his back. He was glad to hear this from her, realizing that she was very determined, and despite the danger, she copes with everything. A moment later, the elevator doors opened, revealing a dark and half-empty hall on the 5th floor.